A very good morning to everyone. This is Mr. Mouse, M-A-U-S, the German word for mouse. Say hi, Mouse. He's going to go on the walk with us, and so is Miss Flossie and Miss Bella. We need to get off this shady porch because it is quite chilly until you get in the sun. I'm making this video today to take you on just a quick short tour because I want to offer some encouragement. I know winter can seem, for the gardener, for the active gardener, not just a reprieve or a resting period, but also sort of a frustrating time of year when you are itching to get going, especially now that the new year has passed. But I wanted to encourage you in two ways. One is, and if you didn't do this year, then I encourage you to try it next year, that you can keep growing. It may not be what you typically grow in the summer. And by the way, the dust you see on there is some diatomaceous earth that I've sprinkled this morning because I'm having a few issues with roly-polies. There's just too many. And I did have the ducks clear them from the paths and from some of these beds before I planted them out, but this is a good time when the ground is dry and the sun is out to have a day or two of diatomaceous earth sitting on the soil to reduce the population a bit. Anyway, I'm getting off track. As you can see, production doesn't have to stop, so that's the first encouragement. You just have to be willing to try and pick things that truly are for the winter garden. This includes brassicas. You can see some broccoli here. Don't just stick with your typical brassicas like broccoli and cabbages. Widen your horizon. You can do some bok choy. Bok choy is a lovely Asian brassica. There's some right there. That's bok choy. Mustard greens are a possibility. They grow extremely well. In fact, I had a volunteer mustard greens showing up over there in front of the greenhouse that I've been harvesting. I think I've had 5 full family meals from those volunteers. So that's my first words of encouragement for you. Whether you're just starting out or you're an experienced summer gardener, I encourage you to try extending the season, at least in the northern zones, and possibly even doing year-round gardening in some form or fashion. If you're a little further south, I'm in North Carolina, so I can, as you can see, I can do year-round. In fact, ironically, now with climate change, I'm finding it easier to garden in the fall and spring and even winter than in the summer because just about everything I'd want to grow, like lettuces, tends to bolt. And and then it loses its flavor, its sweetness, and loses production. Anyway, that's good for seed production, but it's not good for eating. As you can see, lettuces this time of year do great. I just transplanted these last week, and they've already doubled in size, even though we've had some hard frosts this week. I do cover them, but only in the night. Cabbages here, red and regular. Some lettuce in between that the ducks got at before I put the netting up. Okay, so the second piece of encouragement I'd like to give you is not to stress out over how disheveled and almost trashy a winter garden can look, when you're attempting to have production, but this requiring you to cover certain crops at night anyway. So obviously, this could be done more neatly, but when you're in my situation, for example, gardening completely on your own, a large garden, and you just need to get these covers off in the morning so the plants don't overheat, which is a big issue. You got to keep in mind that even on cooler days like today, when the sun is shining like this, if you keep your plants covered during the day with these very effective 6 mil plastic covers, it is literally a greenhouse effect, and it can get too hot for these winter plants, for like the brassicas, and they will not like that. They won't produce as much, and they may even bolt. So it is important to uncover during the day, in most cases, at least when it's sunny. This, just to interrupt myself real quick, this is what's left in the winter of my very profuse, normally in the summer, very profuse herb spiral. You can see there are lots of herbs that you can take through the winter as well. Now, I'd hardly even have to cover this since I'm in zone 7B, almost A8. Technically, I'm in zone 7B, let's put it this way, but climate change is kind of shifting me into a zone 8. So obviously it's very profuse in the summer, but in the winter I can continue to harvest things like oregano. Again, only for the deepest frosts do I cover this bed. Anything under 30. I am continuing to get a beautiful harvest of this very pungent marjoram. Of course, we have tons of alliums like chives and onions going, not necessarily in this bed. I even have some feverfew, and right there is the feverfew, and right there is still some cilantro. But perhaps my most profuse one that I was able to get through the winter is my, who knows what this is? Thyme. So thyme is one of those wonderful ground covers that you can eat, but also you could use it as a ground cover like clovers. So don't be afraid to attempt to extend your season, or even garden throughout the winter. And don't be afraid or embarrassed or worried, stressed about, having the garden look a bit more trashy. I mean, you are trying to provide a habitat for these plants, and you're going to need to do whatever it takes. Just don't stress about it. What's important is the functionality of garden. Beauty is in the eyes of the beholder. In my eyes, this is beautiful because I've made a symbiotic pact with Mother Nature. She provides me with something that I might not be able to obtain without her help. And I provide her with protection and help and guidance to produce that which I desire rather than that which she would necessarily want to pluck down. And that's beautiful. That relationship is beautiful. The produce is beautiful. The result is beautiful. The aesthetics they'll come in the spring when I don't need to use covers anymore. That's okay. All right, so I'm going to sign off for today. I hope you all have a wonderful, lovely day. It's sunny and beautiful here for the first time in a week, and I'm going to take this opportunity to work outside. I hope you get a chance to do that too soon. Good luck, and I hope these 2 pieces of encouragement help you in your path.